Well, that was Stone Cold. But that's not Stone Cold anymore. What is up, everybody? It is me, Copter, and this is another Supercard Season 2 video. Hey, just to let you know, here's a super tip. People's Champion Challenge is a real-time leaderboards-based competition. The higher you place, the better your potential reward. Sweet. So, I completely lost my last King of the Ring because I don't know. It called for my whatever tag twice, which lost me the match. But to let you know, hey, we have a new People's Championship, and what do you know? Once again, Brock Lesnar is part of it as the first new Season 2 PCC challenge. It is against the Undertaker, which just let me go ahead and say this. Paul Heyman and this whole feud with Brock Lesnar, they have done an amazing job with turning the Undertaker into a bad guy. If you really notice, like the way Paul Heyman was talking like he normally does, one of the best in the game, the fans were actually booing the fact that Brock Lesnar lost. I mean, granted, Undertaker's always going to be a fan favorite, but right now they are definitely setting him up to where Brock Lesnar is becoming one of the most all-time favorite wrestlers in the game. Because once you surpass Undertaker, regardless of the situation, I mean, you're pretty much on that level now. It's pretty crazy. I mean, it blew my mind just because from when I was into wrestling, from watching old school wrestling, I have never seen The Undertaker hated or booed, to be exact. I mean, it was even crazy whenever it was The Rock versus Hollywood Hogan at WrestleMania, and The Rock was getting booed. He was such a fan favorite that all it took was Hollywood Hogan to come in, and he got booed. It was crazy, which that match in itself is already iconic. I mean, that was one match that we thought we'd never see. But back to the topic here, it's just crazy that the fans like Undertaker, but they want Brock to be the winner. So it's crazy and it's awesome. I love it. I love that whole aspect, and I think right now that's the only thing that is big in wrestling right now is just this whole feud. The Divas matches and everything, I think they're being overdone. Like, I think we're getting too much Divas now to where it's becoming old and it's becoming repetitive. I mean, we're seeing the same matches, we're seeing the same dialogue. It's really nothing crazy. I was watching Des Perez's video, and he talked about him watching Blackjack's video, which led to the whole pretty much he wants the Divas to be telling a story and making themselves a how do I put this? Like kind of telling their own story, making their own dialogue, making their own paths versus, hey, we're all a team. Let's face this team. Let's face that team. So I think they should be doing that because now Divas matches are just boring again. And this is what they didn't want. So when they brought in all these NXT people and everything, everybody was like, oh my God, now we have good matches. Because I'm not going to lie, I like NXT whenever I do watch it. Not that I watch it all the time, but I like it because of the fact that they have old school mentality. These guys are hungry. They're fighting like they're hungry. Their hits look more real than WWE in general. A lot of it now definitely looks a lot faker than it did before. But NXT, these are all young guys. They're hungry. They want to put the best show on right now. So whenever they wrestle, the hits and everything look a lot more realistic. And that's what I like about it. So that's really cool. But yeah, just kind of my thoughts. And then Sting showing up, that's pretty cool, which now everyone's saying Sting's going to be facing Seth Rollins. Next, for the championship, I don't understand where they're going with that. I would like to see Sting just wrestle Undertaker so he can finally get his dream match, and then they can both go retire in the sun. I don't care who wins that one, but they need to hurry up and do this Brock versus Undertaker again. I really hope they don't wait till WrestleMania and just get it over with so Undertaker can have his final match with Sting and be done. Because this dude needs to pretty much go. Supposedly he collapsed right after SummerSlam again. So this dude only has a couple more matches in the chamber before this guy needs to go off into the sunset. I like Undertaker. I like everything you've done. I respect you, man. But you got to hang up the boots and the gloves. It's done, man. It's done. So that's all my rant on that. Oh yeah, one more thing. John Cena turning into a bad guy. I'm kind of interested to see where that goes. I'm interested to see if he can win the fans back with him turning bad, which it kind of looks like it is. I mean, it's too early to tell because it's just against Seth Rollins, whatever. So I really don't want to see him win another championship. I really hope this John Cena and Seth feud doesn't last too much longer, but whatever. All right, that's it on that rant. Um, let's get into People's Championship. So the rewards are pretty crazy now, which I will give my thoughts. Let me just go over the rewards first. So right now you have an Undertaker and a Brock Lesnar, which they both have the same stats. They're just switched. Undertaker's power and toughness, if you were to switch that, you have Brock Lesnar's power and toughness. His speed and charisma, if you were to switch that, you have Brock Lesnar's speed and charisma. So pretty much, yeah, that's all that's there. He procs in power and toughness, and I'm pretty sure Brock powers power and toughness. Yeah. So this is kind of stupid in the fact that whichever one you get, they proc in the same area. So that's that's that. I mean, really nothing. I mean, you can boost up his charisma with those tokens and kind of make him the way you want to make him. So that's pretty cool. But again, it's whatever. You also get these legendary cards. Now, I don't know the whole legendary roster, so I don't know if this is like a new card, if this is just the normal Randy, but there's him. He looks pretty cool. Sheamus looks like just this whatever Sheamus. The legendaries are okay. I like the old school legendaries a lot more, but whatever. Then from 6 to 75, stop sign legendary, or you get a legendary table, which, by the way, if you notice, 1 through 5 is only one card. We all knew this was coming from previous blog postings that Brad was talking about, how he wanted to uh, pretty much make this game live longer. But pretty much what you're doing is asking for more money. So that's cool. But also, this is the only thing that kind of irritates me, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. So 76 to 200, you get a legendary enhancement. You either get power or you get toughness. Before it was 1 through 200, get the pair. Now it's only one card, regardless. From 201 to 555, you actually still get really good Epic. You get an Epic John Cena or an Epic Seth Rollins, which is really cool. Which, by the way, I'm pretty sure that's the Seth Rollins from the Hell in the Cell PCC Legendary a long time ago versus Dean Ambrose. But that's still pretty good because let's be realistic here. The only people that are in legendaries and epics are the people that are dropping loads of money, such as 100,000 credits plus, like Super Zamagod Barbecue did. Which, hey, props to you, homie. If you want to check out his video, his links are in the description below. Good dude. Definitely worth watching because, I mean, he's got the money to blow. I just don't care to blow that much anymore, especially after a certain reason, which I will tell you in a little bit. So, 551 to 1,000, you just get an epic stop sign or an epic table. Still really good rewards. 1,001 to 1750, get epic toughness, epic power. Those will be good in your freaking King of the Rings because you can actually boost those and those will go for 5 matches on the person, which I can show you in here in a little bit. Then we get to the end, 1751 to 2150. You still get one of these legendaries. So now up to 2,150 people will have one of these Brock Lesnar or Undertaker PCC cards and will have a chance to pro these cards out. 2151 to 2650, you still get the legendary Randy. You get them all the way up to 3550. Then you get the epic. So all these cards are still really good because, let's be honest again, we're all still really new to the game. And like we've said since the beginning, these PCCs are the best way to grab you some good cards because it's very easy, especially this 31,000. That's like playing a couple hours a day. It won't take that much. So all right, so this is where I kind of have a conflict. And if you're still with me, thank you again for watching. I always enjoy your support and everything like that. But, so they have confirmed that, yes, you get one of these cards in the PCC, and then the other card will be, so you can make a pro in Ring Domination next week. Okay? Hey, it's Ring Domination. It's all good, all fun and dandy, nothing to worry about, right? Wrong. So, and I'm not playing, which I apologize because I kind of want to. One thing that I want to try and stop doing is doing a lot of and pausing and just kind of being So I want to stay on topic. I want to keep the topic going. But Brad did say that the next card to get a pair, which by the way is Super Tip, the winning main event card in this week's PCC, will be offered again in next week's Ring Domination. Okay, so you can't use old school cards in Ring Domination. So you can't use John Cena. You can't use my Randy Orton. You can't use your old Seth Rollins. You can't use your old Kane. So basically, you can only use new cards. Hey, by the way, this week's PCC features Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker. The action starts on 8/27. Okay, so anyways, so you can't use those cards. If I read it correctly, you can only use the cards that you have now. And the ones that you brought, I believe, from the Fusion Chamber, the Loyalty Fusion Chamber. So with that being said, that sucks. Because if you're not already in the legendary tier, you will not be able to get this legendary pro. So if you do the 3MB method or you do whatever method that pretty much gets you through PCC and you make it and you get one of these cards, if you're not in legendary tier, you're not going to get this pro. Because if you remember, Ring Domination, the way it's played is you get the cards of your tier. So if you're in legendary tier, you can only get up to the legendary card. And I'm speaking on old school Ring Domination, as if we're still in season 1 of Supercard. So you know how when you're in the WrestleMania tier and you have the shards, you have to first go through a Survivor, then you go through WrestleMania, then you go through the Ring Domination special card. So this one now, I believe if everything is said correctly, the only way you can get that legendary card is if you're in the legendary tier. That's where I have a problem. Because now you're only getting money makers to get you that card. Now, I could be completely wrong. They could do it to where, hey, if as long as you're in ultra rare, you can get the ultra, epic, then legendary. But I don't think they're going to do that. Because then you'll have the people who will spend even more money, which granted, yeah, they wouldn't mind that. But they really want you to spend the money to buy the epic cards. I mean, if you look at JB, which not knocking him by no means whatsoever, but he is fortunate enough to just throw down money to where he already has like a pro legendary deck. Same with Jonathan. That dude already has a legendary pro deck. So if you can do that, that sucks for the average player. Because we are slowly working up on our decks. I mean, if you look at me, I'm still in super rare plus because I was just kind of testing out the 3 and B type for the PCC and whatnot. But still, like that sucks. So right now they want you to spend money, which, I mean, granted, why wouldn't they? But they do. And I'm really hoping I'm wrong on this, but if I'm reading everything correctly, I'm not. So if you go for this legendary card, you pretty much need to play your ass off. So when the time comes for ring domination, you can at least get up to that legendary status. So that's my only rant on it. It kind of sucks. Um, Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to go for this PCC. If I do, it will probably either be for the legendary or the PCC card. Because in reality, if everything's right, I probably won't get it. The double, just because I'm not going to spend money to get a full WrestleMania deck. Um, if you remember last time, I get it, all new fancy bells and whistles, blah, blah, blah. But if you look at last time, I spent a lot of money, got those PCC pros and everything, and then the Fusion Chamber came out, completely took a crap on all of our PCC pros. You had people that just bought all the WrestleMania Fusions, and then we're back to square one where, hey, there's nothing really we can do. Which, granted, we have a lot more tiers to come in this game. It is kind of like a fresh new game, so that's good on it. But the fact still remains, at the end of the day, all this money is gonna. It's very limited reward. So I don't know. I have other things to spend money on. That's just kind of my thing. But again, I like Brock. I don't mind Undertaker. I already have Undertaker pro'd as far as my fusion. So I may go for it just to have a legendary to get me going into the more better tiers. But who knows? I don't know what I want to do yet. We'll see how easy the PCC is. We don't even know if the PCC is going to be the exact same format now that we have a 6-card deck. So 3 and B is not really going to work. One thing that I have noticed is 4 and B is working, where you have these two going against them, and then you have at least one good diva. So yeah, it's kind of what I'm doing right now. So we'll see how it goes. It's been working good for me. As you can see right now, we're 2-0. We're going to play 5 games, so we got 3 more to go. Definitely, how are y'all liking this update? I'm still loving it. I like the enhanced graphics. I like this whole gameplay and everything. Biggity did bring up a good topic, which there's a lot more animation in this, and yeah, it's still semi-fast, but like right here, you can't get past this super quickly like you could in season 1. You have to watch that stuff. Only here is where you can actually start speeding up things. You can get them to go, but again, there's a little more animation. Um, so this is pretty much as quickly as you can go for it. Charisma, we'll bust them out. And then plus now you have like not I mean, you still have only 3 games, but it just seems like there's more animation. You can't hurry up and get through this. You gotta watch all this stuff. Then it kind of goes. So it's not your typical just tap tap tap. You're quickly out. So I'm anxious to see how that will affect the speed demons that are good at this stuff, and maybe it might even out the playing ground. Who knows? That'll be great if it does, but we don't know for sure. So let's get into these 2 more games. I really like these pictures, especially of Eva Marie. She's looking hot. Sasha Banks is looking pretty good. I do agree with a bunch of people. I would not mind her as the next Divas champ, which I also agree with her because she said on Jericho's podcast if we could just get it back to being the women's championship. Because, I mean, the Divas championship, that's kind of dumb. Like, we don't really. Diva's more of a bad word now. Like, if you're called a diva, that just means you're conceited, you're cocky, you're a whiner. Yeah, you're pretty, but everything's based on looks. That's about it. So let's go back to women's champ, like the old school champions like Lita and Trish Stratus and China, like all the people that actually did moves and stuff. A lot of people are complaining about Nikki not being the best champion. Yeah, she sucks as a champion, but I mean, honestly, who are you really going to give it to right now? Paige again. I've already kind of seen it. Paige is already kind of becoming a jobber. She's keeping her name up there, though. I actually wouldn't mind Charlotte being champion. Charlotte's awesome. I like her a lot. Speaking of her, there she is. We'll face her. Um, she's really cool. I like Charlotte. A lot of people say she looks like Ric Flair. I don't think she does. I actually think she looks hot. So, whatever. But yeah. So Charlotte or Sasha, I'm down with being the women's champ. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that. SummerSlam, it was okay. Wasn't worth the hype, I guess you could say, because I mean it did get a lot of hype around it. Um, the whole way Brock Lesnar ended, that kind of sucked, but it did kind of make me feel like, oh, it's controversy. So I mean, it at least did its job. But again, man, I'm just ready for Undertaker to retire. I don't want him to ruin his legacy, which I feel with all these whack matches, he is. And I don't see him going to WrestleMania again, because if they do go to WrestleMania again, I don't see Undertaker losing that time. I think it's going to be like a all-out war and blah, 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 whatever. So, something I really don't care. Also, let me show you some pools before we leave, because that was our fifth game, which we were 5-0. Um, none. Okay. Anyways, some pools that I got that I was kind of excited for. I did get a super rare page, so that's really cool. One thing that I got as far as my ultra rare pool, Ravishing Rick Rude. I got him. I was powering him up and everything. I hope to get another one because that would be awesome if I do. But the chances of that are pretty slim. I do like the fact that he's holding a title. That's pretty awesome. And yeah, so that's about it. Those are about my only amazing pulls. Other than that, I mean, I just kind of pulled Dean, Ultimate Warrior. I want a Sting from my King of the Ring. Also got a Triple H, $1 million. That one I'm excited for. I'll start powering her up. I may actually have her. Oh no, Summer isn't up. Okay, so I may stick her back with my Lita. Miz, he was my avatar for a long time because I like him. Supposedly Miz is in every tier. He's the new John Cena right now, where he's in every single tier. So I guess that's pretty cool. Um, yeah, so that is about it, folks. That is everything as far as the new update and everything. And oh, also, they fixed the login bonuses. I was able to actually get that Randy Orton card, which is awesome. Thank you, Supercard, for that. And yeah, so that is about it. And yeah, so until next time, I'm Copter, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, hit me up on Twitter at SupercardCopter. And yeah, thank you for sticking around. Shout outs to all the homies. I hope to be streaming soon. I know I haven't streamed in a long time. Me and Little G were definitely craving to getting back. We've just been super busy and just haven't had the time. But hopefully, we'll stream sometime this weekend. And good luck to everybody. And the PCC starts in 4 hours and 5 minutes. I hope you get what you want. And yeah, till next time, later. I'm out of here. I am